Hey-ho, BCTV8s. Welcome back to another edition of BCTV's Weekly Media Roundup 545 Live. I'm tonight's host, Roland Boyden. Now, on deck tonight, we've got a jam-packed show as we get ready for this weekend. Talk about the huge news in TransCanada's tax case in Vermont, all the latest in the downtown sidewalk project, including some cool new footage as they get set to go all the way up Main Street with that sidewalk upgrade. Plus, a tractor-trailer accident shuts down Route 9. We'll get you some footage from our Reformer Roundup and much more, plus a robust weekend of calendar coverage. It'll all be right here, and it'll all be in the next 15 minutes on 545 Live.
So I've presided over 2 murder trials in this courtroom.
Welcome back to this August 28th, 2015 edition of 545 Live. A look there at some footage from this past weekend's Windham County History Fair, hosted in Newfane, Vermont. That footage courtesy of hardworking BCTV volunteer Russ Graybeck. And that was a day of history that included tours of the old courthouse from Judge John Wesley, a look at the old jail cells, cemetery tours, and much, much more. All right, with that, into the headlines we go. We'll start with the huge news for towns all up and down the Connecticut River in Vermont this week as a judge ruled against hydroelectric utility giant TransCanada in their request to renege on tax agreements with the municipalities bordering the Connecticut River, taking to court in Rockingham their claim that $108 million in taxable property from their electric dam should be valued instead at $68 million, a claim that could have cost towns a huge percentage of their annual budget. But if TransCanada had won, potential back taxes that would have forced towns to pay back previous year's collections as well. And while the presence of the dam itself in Rockingham means the most as far as money on the line, TransCanada has been angling to reduce their liability to other towns where they've been forced to purchase and pay taxes on floodplain lands directly adjacent to the Connecticut, upriver from their dams, including towns like Putney, who've been watching this case with bated breath and can surely get behind what Rockingham Select Board Chairman Tom McPhee called a David and Goliath affair. Now, not only did presiding Judge John Wesley make his Superior Court ruling in favor of Rockingham, he actually increased the property assessment by almost $400,000. Now, had Wesley ruled in TransCanada's favor, the company would have sought $3.6 million in back taxes from the town of Rockingham and the Vermont Education Department, all with a 1% per month interest fee dating back to the last assessment. All right, just some of the updates there. Now, before we head any further, time to launch into our Reformer Roundup as we check in with Brattleboro's daily paper and their now online presence with their tout.com channel. This is where Reformer photographers and reporters can upload short video clips from the field on the go as they report. You can find it all at tout.com/BratReformer. Don't even need the old borough, just Brat Reformer. And that's where we'll head now to take a look at a accident that happened on Route 9 just west of Brattleboro, between Brattleboro and Marlborough, that blocked off traffic on Route 9 for hours earlier this week. We're going to take a look now at Reformer reporter Dominic Poley's report and footage.
A tractor-trailer truck has flipped onto one of its sides, traveling Route 9 toward Brattleboro, Vermont.
Again, you can see clips like that by checking out the Reformer's tout.com channel, tout.com/BratReformer, and of course you can pick up a paper each and every day on newsstands around Brattleboro. All right, time to move on here. It's been a big week for Brattleboro's Department of Public Works as the municipality's downtown sidewalk upgrade project got underway, something that's had area business owners a little concerned, though it's something that Public Works Director Steve Barrett urged residents not to worry about when choosing to make their way downtown to shop, with agreements right in the contractors' contracts to keep all access to businesses open, even as old concrete is cut away and new sidewalk slabs are poured.
There will be some challenges on making sure that people can gain access to all the businesses. Within the contract, it is required that residents or customers can get to all businesses at all times. The public information piece of this has been huge to just keep people informed, let them know they still can come downtown. It's an active downtown and we want people to come down, and even with the construction, it shouldn't be a hindrance to anyone.
Now, in addition to the sidewalk upgrades, the town is working with Green Mountain Power to upgrade all the downtown streetlights to new energy-efficient LED lights, which will also serve an aesthetic upgrade with new polished black finish streetlight poles, as well as structural upgrades with all-new streetlight wiring being buried below ground. Now, we did a couple interviews with Steve Barrett this week, a few 2-minute extended clips. You can find them at BrattleboroTV.org, where they're across the top, where all the most recent videos go, and you can also find it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/bctv.brattleboro. All right, time to move on now, but before we do, I'll just mention that if you want to stay abreast of all the latest with DPW updates, Highway Supervisor Hannah O'Connell has put together a weekly update that comes out, and you can sign up to receive those updates at brattleboro.org, the town of Brattleboro's official website. All right, moving on. The AP reported this week that the Attorney General's office was officially moving their investigation into Medicaid fraud at the Brattleboro retreat forward, basing this latest probe on the reports of 2012 whistleblower Thomas Joseph, despite a judge's ruling last year that dismissed the case. Now, Joseph, a former retreat accountant who first approached the state auditor's office about reported improprieties on the part of the Brattleboro-based hospital, continues to allege that the retreat has failed to return millions of dollars in Medicaid monies owed to the state. And while Attorney General Bill Sorrell didn't make too much known of the latest investigation news, he did comment in that AP article with an interview quote from last week where he said, "The investigation is not narrow in scope." Retreat officials, meanwhile, say they plan on cooperating fully with the state. Now, according to the AP, Medicaid program funds account for nearly a quarter of the retreat's $65 million annual operating budget. Moving on, more news around Brattleboro. The now predominantly dormant Winston School campus could see new life in the not-too-distant future as this week board members for the Winston Prouty Center in Brattleboro voted to pursue purchasing the Winston School properties rather than renovate and expand their current space across from Memorial Park in West Brattleboro. Now, for more, we turn now to Winston Prouty Executive Director Chloe Leary, who made some comments about the future of the school during a special broadcast of Winston Prouty's monthly show here on BCTV, dubbed Family Matters.
Early childhood is such an important time in a child's life. By the age of 3, 80% of a child's brain is developed, and by the age of 5, 90% before they even get to kindergarten. So we felt like this was an important place to share information and offer resources to families with young children.
All right, a few things to check in with before we move into our weekly video calendar, including our weekly I-91 Bridge Update segment, where officials report blasting that forced 3 straight weekends of Sunday detours for all 91 traffic through downtown Brattleboro have been completed, but not before the Reformer's new photographer and tout.com quick study Christopher Ratter was able to post this piece on the blasting.
Under the bright summer skies of August, the I-91 Brattleboro Bridge Replacement Project has been the site of excitement for the past week as crews from main drilling and blasting help in the excavation process. The foundation of the new bridge requires a deep excavation into the rock, and the best way to achieve this was for blasting. Crews drill holes into the rocks, prime it, and place blast mats on the top to help reduce the risk of flying debris. After final safety checks, the crews then start slowing down traffic on the highway to a halt. Caleb Lynn, project manager, said people traveling on the I-91 corridor can expect short-term traffic congestions.
All right, with that, time to move into our BCTV video calendar. This is all sponsored by the Brattleboro Savings and Loan, as their generous contributions to BCTV each year help fund a weekly look at area upcoming events. We'll start with this here Friday night, as Everyone's Books on the corner of Harmony Lot and Elliott Street gets set to play host to presenter Molly Goodell. We'll discuss her new book, Peace Corps Fantasies, How Development Shaped the Global 60s. That starts in just a few minutes and runs from 6 to 7 p.m., again at Everyone's Books. All right, from there, the calendar will take us to Saturday. We'll also see area group Heirloom Seeds headlining the WVEW Outdoor Benefit event on the Brattleboro Common. That runs from noon to 5 and is all ages appropriate, with all proceeds benefiting Brattleboro's community radio station. All right, with that, we're going to move on in our BCTV video calendar here to this coming Monday as the Brattleboro Area Prevention Coalition joins forces with the Greater Falls Connection and Center for Health and Learning in Bellows Falls to present a facilitator training entitled Maximize Your Role as a Teen Influencer, with this workshop from 4:30 to 7:30 in Bellows Falls at Parks Place, 44 School Street, focused on helping influence teens and the struggle against misuse of prescription drugs. Now, for more on the growing problem of prescription drug misuse by teens in our very own community, we spoke with the Prevention Coalition's Cassandra Holloway.
We really care about it in our own community because we have a high misuse of prescription drugs among our youth, and we want to make sure that we take away any temptation.
All right, that does it for another edition of 545 Live here. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check in with us next week as we broadcast once again right here on BCTV Comcast Cable Channel 8 at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time next Friday. In the meantime, thanks for watching.